Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We're going to take a look at the dollar, yields, precious metals, and then commodities and ETFs that I follow. If you need any help with anything, definitely check out the website, finding-value.com. Become a platinum member. Use the word discount and coupon code if you'd like a discount. And we do have a reminder, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We have a Platinum question and answer session on Sunday, this Sunday. All right, so let's dive in. I'll give you my financial opinions. Here we go. We got the DXY here. I talked about the DXY, how we could come back to this starting point, come up, come back down, and then we got to figure out where we're going to go. We do have a candlestick here that is offset a little bit. We closed above the 50th percentile. That's generally a candlestick called a bullish piercing to move higher. So we could see a move to the upside in the DXY in the very, very short term. We have to see how that move works its way out. If it's strong, we get big candlesticks, then we're moving higher. If we get small little guys that are real teeny, we could roll back over. So we'll find out where we go over the next few days / week or two. But right now, it does look like in the very short term, we could try to move higher here with this bullish piercing candlestick. The 10-year yield slightly lower today, down 1.5%. We're on that support line. Now let's see where we go from here. Are we going to break down or are we going to bounce back up? That is yet to be determined. TYX also slightly lower. It is falling down a little bit below this support level. Again, I'm not declaring victory that this thing's just going to break down. Let's wait and see what the markets have in store for this. And we also have this support line down here. So we'll see what happens. Bond prices slightly up. We're right on getting above that resistance level. Generally speaking, when you start to break on bond prices, yields start to break to the downside. So we could see further bond price appreciation in the short term, along with lower yields. The TYX-TNX ratio is slightly higher today. We do have a little bit of a wick at the top. We'll see which direction this wants to go. Generally, when you get wicks at the top, sometimes they want to pull back a little bit. Again, we've broken the bigger, longer-term downtrend line here, where we've broken to the upside. I do think it's going to work its way up over time. But in the short term, we could get some gyrations and you can go in any which direction. That's based off emotions, not necessarily based off of more of a fundamental kind of a year-long or year-and-a-half-long theme. So short term, we could see a little bit of a pullback in a medium-term upward move. The US 2-year yield, you can see that we are getting a little bit of support down here. We've gotten support while the wicks are down there. So we could see a little bit of a bounce to the upside in yields, and we'll see how strong that bounce is to see if it's sustaining or not. My guess is it's not going to be sustaining, and we are going to continue lower in the intermediate term. CRB index slightly up, 0.4%. Actually looks not too bad. We've broken out of this support. We did a false breakdown here. We're rocketing and launching higher. I think this is going to continue higher to the upside for the CRB index. CRB to S&P 500 also moving up about 0.4% today. And it looks basically sideways at this moment for the ratio of CRB to S&P 500. Are we going to be putting in some sort of bottom here in the beginning of wave 3? We could be, or maybe it's going to take some more time. We've got, well, slightly higher dollar with lower yields and the curve also uninverting. That is generally positive for gold. But gold's had a pretty big run here this past day, so we got a little bloody nose. I do think that will be a continuation pattern to the upside and that we will work our way higher over time. It doesn't mean that tomorrow that we have to go higher. What I'm looking for is large up candlesticks, these big green candlesticks, and small red candlesticks to work its way to the upside. So gold's looking good. Silver's also looking good. That little bloody nose is what I call it. That's a continuation pattern to the upside. Platinum getting a little bit more selling pressure than gold and silver. Nonetheless, it still looks very solid, sitting up there with more of a larger, maybe we'll call that a bloody nose that bleeds greatly. I don't know. But it still looks good. XAU to gold ratio, slightly higher, up 0.12%. We'll probably come back to that support level before heading higher. That's my guess. But it's just a guess. So it's not a big long-term call or anything. And, keep in mind that we got to break this big guy here, that big downtrend line for the line of happiness is what I call it. But it doesn't mean it can't, go sideways like this before heading higher. GDX slightly higher, up 0.44%. It does have a little bit of loss of momentum today, a little bit of selling pressure throughout the day, but still looks good. And we've had a monster run here. So it's not out of the norm to have a little bit of a pullback at some point. SILJ also pulling back a little bit right on support. That support level, which is the white line, we have resistance all coming through this area here that we got to work our way through as we go back up through it. But we've broken out of this falling wedge to the upside, so that's a good thing. Still looking good. Crude oil down 0.5%. Are we going to fill this gap to the downside before heading higher? Potentially. Maybe not. But it's still hanging in there. Still looks fine. Natural gas heading a little bit higher. I still think this is going to base out a little bit before eventually going higher. I do think that we're going to go higher. I do think that there's deficits in the world and that the short-term weather did disrupt this move. So I do think that all of the underlying fundamentals are there for natural gas to go higher over the next few years. XOP, yeah, you know me, heading up 1%, still hanging in there quite well. We've got some wicks at the bottom. There's some buyers there buying it back up. Today's actually a pretty strong day following this bearish engulfing yesterday. It's a pretty strong day. So it's hanging in there quite well. We'll see what happens over the next week or two. OIH also hanging in there well, just a small little down day today after a larger selling pressure day yesterday. And still kind of in this bigger uptrend. Well, we've got an uptrend going, but we're compressing against this resistance area here. We're compressing up against it. So we are getting higher lows, which is a good thing. And we're compressing up against it. Maybe we come back a little bit before heading higher. Maybe we don't. That's why I don't trade on the short term. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust down 3.33%. This doesn't look as good from the candlestick perspectives, at least on that monthly there. We did dive down here. We are starting to play with this support level. We'll see if the support level holds. If we break below this guy here, then I'll say, you know what, we're probably going to see further downside. That's about 14.25 or so. URNM also getting a little bit more selling pressure. It's still holding in there. The thing that concerns me is we've got lots of selling pressure, big candlestick days. Our up days aren't as big. And we're starting to accelerate on the downside here with a lot more selling pressure these past 3 trading days. We'll continue to monitor it. Not that I'm going to do anything different with my portfolio, but we could see further downside in URNM if it decides to bust out to the downside. TAN also down 2.82%, but it's still within the pattern. It's still squeezing up. And we could see a downside move before heading higher in TAN. COPX, copper ETF. We pulled back, but it's not a horrible day today. We do have a little wick at the bottom, and we're right up against this resistance line, just bouncing back off of it a little bit. We've got, this is the global lithium and battery ETF, slightly coming back a little bit off this resistance line. So we're pulling back there. Not really too much to say here. We're just bouncing off that resistance. REMX doing the same thing, bouncing off this resistance there, just coming on back a little bit. S&P 500 also selling off. It's not a huge sell-off day today. It's only down 0.25%. Still looks strong, like where we could still move to the upside if the buyers want to push it that way. We are coming into some resistance through here. NASDAQ doing the same thing. It does have a wick at the bottom. There was a little bit of buying pressure throughout the day, but everything looks all right, guys. We're still above, and we just got to break through that guy, and we're getting a little bit of resistance there. Emerging markets, a little bit of selling pressure. Again, we're just moving sideways with it. Nothing's changed. Still looks good. XHB down a little bit. We're right on support. We're right in the support level area. We'll see if it holds. Moo down 1.4%. That still looks a little bit rough. I still think this is going to go lower. Big selling pressure, a fight to move up, and we're getting bigger selling pressure. So I still think that's going to head lower. Copper just moving sideways. A little bit of selling pressure the day before. But yeah, it's just moving sideways on top of a big, gigantic support level. Lumber moving on up, 1.83%, right on support. That goes all the way back to the 90s. It's back out here, guys. All the way back to 93 is that big support level that we're sitting on. Iron ore moving sideways. Again, nothing really to report on. We're just waiting to see which direction it wants to go. This one's already broken to the upside. That still looks really good. Nickel moving sideways. It's been moving sideways the past few trading sessions. Aluminum down, slightly lower. And again, guys, if there's fear in the market and if we're going to get a slowdown, some of these commodities will pull back some. If there is a slowdown, we are seeing yields pull back, which is generally a sign of weakness in the markets in terms of inflation and people getting a little bit afraid about the economy. Baltic Dry Index shooting a little bit higher today, 4.3%. Maybe this gets a run to the upside. Newcastle Coal Futures just moving sideways, down 3.7%. Again, we just got to wait for this to kind of base out. That's all we're doing. We're just waiting. And then Ethereum. Ethereum is higher today, up 1.92. Actually looks, it looks all right. We got a little wick at the top, a little bit of selling pressure at the end of the day there. And then Bitcoin also just moving sideways. And I do think this will work its way higher. Liquidity coming in the system, kind of like gold. But that's what we've got for today, guys. A little bit of selling pressure kind of across the board for the most part on average. And a lot of these, I don't know, it's kind of a boring day to me. I'm just kind of like looking at it like, okay, skip by it. We'll go to the next day. Not really much going on. A lot of things were going sideways today. Not really large up or down candlesticks, mainly just kind of drifting along. And sometimes you get these days, just the way it is. It's kind of like I don't know, overcast day or something like that in the markets, so to speak. But if you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. We do have a Sunday Platinum question and answer session. We'll look at companies, bring companies that you'd like. We can take a look at them. I'd say I already screened through a lot of the companies myself, through a lot of the different sectors. I have my favorites. Sometimes I do miss some. There's a lot of people that bring up a lot of really good companies, so it's good. Bring your companies and we'll see what they look like. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.